welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's the Dave Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Chris Hogan, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Mitch in Rockford, Illinois, starts off this hour. Hi, Mitch. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave and Chris. Great to be here.
Thanks, man. Good to have you. How can we help?
Well, my wife and I are really excited. We just hit baby steps 4, 5, and 6 this month. So we're really happy about that. Really thankful for your wisdom. We actually have kind of a personal goal. We want to pay off our mortgage in a couple of years. So by 2023, we want to be fully debt-free.
Cool.
The interesting thing is this month, actually last week, we actually got a surprise gift as kind of an early inheritance, money from our grandparents. And we're kind of just wondering, it's $20,000. We have $63,000 left on our mortgage. And we're kind of wondering, what do you think we should use it for? Should we put the whole lump sum towards the house and pay off our debt sooner? Or we have kind of an older car. It's got about 205,000 miles on it. It's in the shop a lot more than we would like, but I think we can make it last another year or two. Also, my wife really wants to remodel our kitchen on the cheap. It would be about $2,000 or $3,000. So I kind of see we either put it towards the house fully, or maybe put it towards a cheaper car and a kitchen remodel, and then use whatever's left over on the house as two options, or maybe a third option I'm not thinking about. So just figured I'd give you a call. Love the show. Long-time listener, and see if you had any.
Yeah, all of those fit within the baby steps. You can, in baby steps 4, 5, and 6 is when you would upgrade a car if you want, when you could do a little small remodel if you want, and obviously anything you can find extra you throw on the house. And sometimes people are more hardcore than others about getting the house paid off. Mm-hmm. So, how expensive a car are you talking about?
Sure. It would just be a used car. Maybe spend $8,000 on it. Something like that. Our car's worth about $2,000.
What's your household income?
We're about $50,000 to $60,000 net.
Mm-hmm. So 10 to the kitchen and the car, and 10 on the house. Is that one plan, right?
Well, it would probably only take about $3,000 for the kitchen. We wouldn't do a full remodel.
You said 2, and you said 8 on the car. That's 10.
Oh yeah. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. And looking at this, Mitch, I'm going to tell you something that Dave taught me many years ago, and it's kind of the pie graph approach, which is what he was just kind of walking you through. Whenever you have money coming in that wasn't expected, or it's a bonus, you want to look at it and say, what can I use, right? And then what do I put toward my future? And so in looking at this, if you did 8 on the car and you did 3 on the kitchen remodel, that's still going to leave you, right, $9,000 that you could throw at the mortgage. Now you look at that and you think you've hit 3 areas and made progress instead of just picking one.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Now
that's
here's
really helpful.
Here's the danger. You got to set a serious dollar amount on the car, right? So if you're looking to spend 8, you're buying a car for $5,000 to $6,000 because you got tax tags and title. That's first. Number 2, this kitchen remodel. You and your wife need to pinky swear that we're only spending 3.
Yeah, we don't need any bracket creep here. Yeah,
that's
right. You may need to talk to her more than me, but I agree.
Scope creep.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, what I might do is, you just need to budget out all 3 of them, and you need to have a real adult conversation about we're not doing this. Or we can do nothing now and put it all on the mortgage, and and then we'll just, as soon as this mortgage gets done, then we'll do the remodel. There's nothing wrong with that idea either, by the way. There's so
sure.
The $10,000 throws your mortgage repayment off by about a year, probably. You're debt free on the mortgage a year later if you do the car and the kitchen, right?
Right. That's kind of what we were projecting. Yeah.
That's what I would guess with your income. So, none of these are dumb, but I think Chris has hit the Achilles heel of the discussion, and it is scope creep on the car and on the kitchen. Because a $3,000 kitchen remodel can be $6,000 in about an eye blink.
Oh, yes.
And a car purchase, it's just a little bit more. And then all of a sudden you got nothing going towards a mortgage. Now, that I would not recommend.
Right. I'm going to put you in the hot seat. You're in Mitch's position. This $20,000 came in. What does Dave Ramsey do?
When we were at that stage, it would have been 100% on the mortgage.
I know it. That's exactly me too.
Because we were just more hardcore. We so desperately wanted to be rid of any debt. We didn't want to be slave to anyone anymore but Jesus. We were so over these freaking banks.
Oh.
I hated them. I still hate them. I mean, to this day, I'm still pissed, and it just, so it was that level of ferociousness,
right,
that would have driven that on through. But that's an honest answer, an authentic answer of what I would have done, and probably what I would do today,
right,
because I know the joy of being debt free more than I know the joy of remodeling a kitchen and or buying a car, and I'm a car guy,
right.
I love my cars, but and again, but I'm not going to impugn that upon her,
right,
or him,
right.
They're fitting within the guidelines that we use, and our guidelines are, hey, this is the shortest distance between where you are and wealthy.
Right.
And sometimes folks need that, a little relief in the car front. They need a little relief in the kitchen.
Yeah, they do.
In order to get the energy to plow on through the finish line.
Right. Now, let me ask you this. Do you give more weight to the person whose side of the family had the loss? Meaning, if it was their wife, you never do?
No.
Okay. I always wondered that. Do you give a little bit more credence to where the inheritance came from?
No.
Okay.
No. If it's going to come into our house, it's our money.
It's ours. Okay.
It's our money. And so if I get an inheritance, it's me and Sharon make the decision together. Sharon gets an inheritance, we make the decision together.
Yeah.
Get a gift from a family member, we make the decision together. If we get a found money, which, honestly, Sharon has not worked outside the home and earned any income personally for 35 years. So, we have had an income for 35 years that I earned.
That's right.
So we've had to be real careful about, I make all dadgum money, so I'll do what I want.
Right.
I could go there real easy.
Yeah.
And be a little bit justified, except that that's the wrong way to live a marriage. It's the wrong way to live a life. It's the wrong way to build wealth. It's the wrong way to view it. Once it comes into my house, it's ours.
It's ours. That's good. And again, I think that's important for people out there to really begin to think and go, yeah, it's us. Don't have that pronoun problem. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
I and your. Nah, speak French. We.
Oui. That's it. Oh, I love it. Chris Hogan, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author of the book Everyday Millionaires. If you don't have a copy of it, you probably ought to pick one up. It'll change your life. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Folks, it's an honor to tell you about the Army National Guard. Not only are they big supporters of our high school curriculum, but they also give you the opportunity to impact your local communities. Whether your goals are to get an education, serve your country, or have a better life, the Army National Guard can help get you there. Plus, they offer unbelievable financial benefits. Secure your future today. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more. Chris Hogan, Ramsey personality, is my co-host today. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Open phones at 888-825-5225. So we have discovered among the Ramsey tribe, the Ramsey listeners out there, that about half of you, when it comes to tax time, have a very simple return, and you should not pay $200 or $300 to an ELP, a tax ELP, to have your taxes prepared. You should pay someone that or more if you have a complicated return, because you're going to make that back. Now, I have a very complicated return, and so I pay a lot more than that, but it makes me money back every year because I've got a guy looking over my shoulders, and I don't know anything about taxes. I know a little bit, but it's just enough to be dangerous, and that's a good way to lose it. But if you're just filing a simple return to get your refund, the electronic file is the best way to do it.
It really is, Dave. And unfortunately, out there, you can get overcharged and upsold. And here's what I mean. If you end up owing money, you've got companies that'll come after you trying to sell you a credit card, trying to give you a loan, trying to hit you with all these things. And that's how they make their money. And it's actually really kind of a bounty on your head. So I love what we've got this year. We've got a top-notch.
We got a choice.
You have a choice.
You know, basically, TurboTax is about 70% of the e-file market.
Is it really?
Yeah, they own tens of millions of people use TurboTax to file. And, in general, the thing operates very well. It operates very well. But as you dig into it and what they're doing with TurboTax, they just paid $8 billion to buy Credit Karma. And they're pairing that together with TurboTax. So basically, they're using TurboTax not as a product line, but as a funnel to get you into their system because they want to sell you debt.
Yes.
And they literally, in their own corporate presentation, said we put a bounty on when the customer signs up for a credit card. We get a bounty. Now, you know what a bounty is?
Oh, yes, I do.
That's when you that's when you capture or kill a person or an animal
and get paid,
and you get for that coyote hide. You get a bounty. So if you want to put your hide on the block,
no, thank you, no, thank you.
That's what's going on, and that's the way these companies look at it. And so you just again, the actual product itself, there's nothing wrong with it. And the company's not evil. They're just in the business not of taxes. They're in the business of selling you debt.
Well, and that's the difference between them and us at Ramsey Solutions. Our goal is to help you with money to help you be able to build wealth. And so what we want to do is invite you to come over, check out Ramsey Smart Tax. The other guys charge, it's half of what other guys charge. You can file your taxes for $17. That's going to beat the other guys' prices hands down. And then if you need a little support, you can upgrade to the premium version for $37 and get live access right where you are, which is amazing. And
if you've got a complicated return, you go to one of our ELPs and have a full-on
review,
complete return.
That's right.
Done that way. But if you've got a simple return, $17 is the way to go. Now, Ramsey Smart Tax is brand new this year. It's brand new. We put it out just for beta testing and everything last year and ran about 5,000 folks through it. But this year we'll have millions in it. And it's powered by TaxSlayer. This company, family-owned company down out of Augusta, Georgia.
Yes.
And we've been working with them for a year and a half. They're wonderful people. The product, it looks, acts, and feels like Ramsey because it is, but the guts, down under the hood, is those guys. And they've got 50 years of experience. So you got two ways to do your taxes that we would recommend. And it's where I will send all of my friends. And it's not to jump into the hoop and get, set up for a bounty on your head, okay? But it's go to Smart Tax.
Yes.
And that's the $17 file or an upgraded file for $35. But there's not a bunch of add-ons. There's not a bunch of gotchas. We don't have another agenda. Just going to help you get your taxes filed. It's real simple.
That's right.
Real simple, real clean. And I know it's kind of a hassle if you've used one of the other people like H&R. Their software is the same as Turbo. They're trying to set, look at what they're really doing.
Yeah.
They're big on the refund loans. And those refund loans are dadgum payday lenders.
Yes, they are.
I mean, the rate on these refund loans is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
So be careful. If you've been playing with snakes, you're going to get bit, and you could get away from them. It takes a little trouble the first year to move it all over to something else. I know that.
Yeah.
But it's only $17.
That's right.
And you do the trouble once, and nobody's going to put a bounty on you.
That's right. And Dave, you don't get hit with unnecessary emails, those mailers, the phone calls. Again, there's no reason to be in that environment. Get in an environment that's trusted and protected. Ramsey Smart Tax will help you get it done.
Yeah, and so here's what we do. It's real simple. You're either going to go with an ELP and have a complicated return filed and do it properly, or you're going to use a simple Ramsey Smart Tax software, $17. You really can't beat this. Text the word tax to 33789, and we're going to hook you up with the help you need. That's tax to 33789. And I will make you a solemn promise. Not a single soul will ask you to take out a credit card as a result of doing this.
Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Yes.
Not a
Peace
single soul.
There's not a chance.
It's interesting. So many companies have discovered how wealthy they can become, how much money they can make off of the consumer if they go in the debt business, the credit card business. And so it's not unusual to look at one of these retailers pre-pandemic and say, why does Target have the Target card? Why does whoever, Macy's, have a Macy's card? Why do they have a store card? Why does Best Buy have a Best Buy card? Because at the end of the day, they make more money on the credit and the issuing of debt. 90 days, same as cash.
That's right.
They make more money on the debt than they do on the actual sale of the clothing.
That's right.
Or the television or the whatever. And so, all of these retail operations are a credit card operation with some stuff out front. I mean, Victoria's Secret, you pay, you think they're in the business of selling tiny underwear. They're really not. They're really in the business of credit. They make more. If you work at Victoria's Secret and you do not put out a certain number of credit cards every shift, they don't care how many thongs you sold. They want to know how many credit cards you put out because they make their money on the credit cards.
Yep. Oh, Dave, that was one of the things that ended up chasing me out of the banking industry because it was one of those, it was all about the ancillary things that you added on to that. And so they kept track of the number of credit cards each day, And if your branch wasn't on the list, it was an issue.
Yeah.
That could do it.
They know what business they're in because they know where the money is.
That's right.
And so, we've got all this stuff out front. You can have a savings account and a checking account, or you can buy your underwear here, or you can get you a suit of clothes over here, or you can get you a television over here. But really, if you peel back their financials, they make more money on the sale of debt than they do on the other stuff. And TurboTax is exactly the same way. But here's the thing about Ramsey. It's you may not like it. You may not want to do it. $17 may sound like a lot of money to you. I don't know. But 100% of the time, you are not going to get offered a debt product as a result of using one of our products. So we don't put bounties on the heads of our customers. They're not coyotes.
I cannot believe they use that word bounty corporately like that. That's unbelievable. So that's scary. Don't go there. You can do it a better way, a safer way.
Bonus. I could have come up with a lot of other words, but bounty. Feel like a coyote.
Bounty hunter.
You guys all howl out there. Oh, you got a bounty on your head. Oh,
no thank you.
You feel like a beaver pelt? Come on, step it up. Come on, man. You feel like a rabbit? A little scared rabbit?
No thank you.
Rascally rabbit. Poor TurboTax. They actually have a good product, but they just got sidetracked with trying to screw you guys with debt. And it just messed them up. And so along comes little old Ramsey, and we won't have 40 million people use Ramsey Smart Tax this year like they did. We know that. But if we can save just a few of you from a bounty,
that's a good thing. That is a good thing. The things you learn on the Dave Ramsey Show.
Text TAX to 33789, and you can learn about Ramsey Smart Tax or our tax ELPs. TAX to 33789. What makes our show unique is that we genuinely care about our listeners. We're intentional about choosing the best advertisers to recommend. Blinds.com is no exception. They offer high-quality window treatments at unbelievable prices. And they make it simple to shop blinds, shades, and interior shutters with easy online ordering, free shipping, and a guaranteed perfect fit. Go to Blinds.com and take advantage of this week's special savings. Jeremy and Heather are with us from Dallas, Texas. It says on my screen, you guys are debt-free. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well done. How much have you paid off?
$46,854 in 20 months.
Love it.
Wow.
And your range of income during that time?
We're $90,000 to $143,000.
Wow. What do y'all do for a living?
Well, I'm in HR, and Jeremy drove an ice cream truck.
That'll
Pretty
work.
much.
That'll work. So what kind of debt was your $47,000?
So we had medical debt, credit cards, 2 cars, a loan to pay off some taxes. We were just pretty normal.
Yeah, we had 2 student loans as well.
Yep.
Yeah, debt everywhere then.
Wow. And so you guys have the audacity to become debt-free while we're in a pandemic.
Yeah.
How'd you do that? How did you do
we
it?
were extremely blessed.
Yeah, like you went out and killed something and drug it home.
Yeah.
Like you're driving an ice cream truck during a pandemic. I love this guy.
Yeah.
You're my hero, man. So, because I want some ice cream too. But anyway, so what got all this started 20 months ago?
So we actually started because I was working for a major pharmacy retailer as a store manager, and I was actually working the counter. And this gentleman comes up with his daughter, and they're arguing over ice cream and Reese's peanut butter cups and which one has the coupon. So I asked them if that was their envelope system because I'd heard about you and we hadn't really done anything with it. And he said yes, and that he taught financial peace at a church plant that they had just started. So we actually ended up going to their church and attending FPU.
Wow.
So it was kind of crazy.
That's unbelievable. So it all started with a conversation. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing what can happen. You said you had heard of Dave and that seed got planted, but you needed to get to that point, and I love to hear people having that story of, no, you know what, we're going to do it. So, Jeremy, what'd you learn about your wife throughout this process?
Well, I learned that she's pretty on point with whatever she has in mind. She is ready to do.
And Heather, what'd you learn about Jeremy?
He is just there ready to back it up. And if he thinks that my idea is crazy, he'll sit down and be like, let's talk about this. But together we make a pretty perfect team. We just dove into it head first, and he's been amazing.
That's fantastic.
So, Jeremy, she comes home from the store and says a guy with an envelope system invited us to church to his class. What'd you say?
Well, I said, well, let's get to know the church a little bit better. So we went to the church, and we got into it a little bit better. I got introduced to Kevin Brown and his family, and they were really, really great people. Just the church is all around just filled with great people. And so we're like, okay, let's sign up for the class. And sure enough, about 3 or 4 other families were in there with us, and we followed it. We followed it pretty much to the T.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, that's the secret. I'm telling you, when you have a recipe that works, I tell people all the time, don't mess with the ingredients. Just follow that thing. And that's exactly what you all did. So for families out there that are right now up to their eyeballs in debt, what motivation, what would you tell them? Is it possible for them to get out of debt?
Absolutely.
It's the freedom. It's the freedom that you feel after you get out of debt, that you're not locked down to anybody else except for maybe your mortgage or whatever you have left. But yeah, that's it. You're really free of financial tie down to anybody.
Yeah.
How long you guys been married?
16 years.
You ever been debt free before now?
No.
Not really. No.
Yeah. Pretty incredible. How's it feel?
It's amazing. Jeremy's in his off season, and we've been able to live on our savings and still able to help and do the things that help people during the pandemic. So that has been such a blessing to us. It's so freeing knowing that you're able to help people in their worst time.
Yeah, because we've been those people that we've had to go to, like the church or to our friends for help. And they've, luckily been helpful to us with finances. And so now we can return the favor tenfold. And it's just an amazing feeling.
Absolutely. Well done, guys. So proud of you.
Yes.
Who are your biggest cheerleaders?
August and Clinton from our support group, Kevin Brown and his family, and our families, and my friend Patty, my husband's family.
Did anybody tell you were crazy? Anybody look at you side-eyed?
No. We had so many people who were more like, yes, you're going to do this. And we actually had two of our friends now start the Total Money Makeover and are doing their own debt-free journey.
I love it.
That's fantastic. You motivated other people to get started. I want you all to keep telling people about it. Keep shining the light of hope so others can get started as well. Very proud of you too. Very proud.
It can all start with an argument over the envelope at the counter. That's so fun. That is so fun. I love that.
And the irony is...
Sounds like a
it
commercial.
was
Reese's or ice cream?
And the irony is Jeremy drives an ice cream truck. So ice cream is in this
This is an ice
memory.
cream story right
yes,
here.
Yes, it is.
And my mouth is watering. You guys are incredible. We got a copy of Chris's book for you, Everyday Millionaires. That is definitely the next chapter in your story. We're so proud of you guys. Heather and Jeremy and Micah in Dallas, Texas, $47,000 paid off in 20 months, making 90 to 143. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
All right. 1, 3, 2, 1. We're debt-free!
Way to go!
Woo, woo. That's how that works. Oh, man. You got to love it.
Unbelievable. People, we are in a pandemic. How in the world do you pay off debt in the middle of a pandemic? I'm going to tell you, it ain't an accident. It's intentional. You get your heart right, you get your focus right, and you just commit. You go. You don't need anyone's permission. You don't need anyone's vote. You get to decide for you and your future. And that's exactly what they did.
You don't need any likes on Facebook.
Nope. Don't need a retweet. Thumbs up.
Thank God.
Yeah, all them little goofy things. No,
I don't need to be influenced.
Nope.
You just got to go get up off your butt, get up off your assumptions, and go do it. I mean, you just got to do this, man. And it's really, it is a series of choices.
It really is. I've never heard get off your assumptions. I like that. I'm going to use that one.
Well,
but we get to, Dave, and that's the thing that I want people to understand and hear.
You know what's interesting about that couple? Did you just feel that they were both smiling and happy the whole time? Now, oftentimes when people are doing their debt-free scream, they're smiling and happy, but you kind of got the feeling that they're those people anyway.
Yeah, they are. Yep.
And so this was just like, okay, let's do something fun.
Yep.
It wasn't like, oh, God, this is going to be so hard. I don't know if I'm going to die if I don't get to go to a restaurant or get a new pair of shoes.
Dave is channeling his inner Eeyore.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is what people do. They figure out a way, we figure out a way to sabotage ourselves.
Yeah, we do.
And instead, these guys like, hey, let's skip right through this.
Yep. And the thing that I
20
heard.
months,
yep.
We're done.
And the thing that I heard also, Dave, was the team. The team. You could hear they're together on this thing. And I'm going to tell you, boy, you get locked arms, moving in the right direction, you're going to make some stuff happen.
And hey, there's not a marriage that works together on money that is not a good marriage. It is very, very rare to hear somebody that has a great partnership on getting out of debt and wealth building that doesn't have a great marriage. Now, sometimes the marriage grows while you're doing that.
That's right.
It's better.
Yeah.
Because you got this communication lines open. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Chris Hogan, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Lawrence is with us in Los Angeles. Hi, Lawrence. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. How are you?
Great, man. What's up?
So I had a question, and I wanted to see your 2 cents on this. I'm 27, no kids, no debt, and I live in Los Angeles. I'd like to purchase a house soon with a 20% down payment, preferably. But houses in like a nice, safe suburban area are roughly 800 to $1 million.
Sure.
And I wanted to see if you recommend that I focus on an aggressive down payment with my savings, or prioritize retirement investing first, and whatever excess that I have after that go to the down payment on a house. But in turn, that'll delay how soon I could purchase this property.
We have folks do it both ways. Once you're out of debt and you have your emergency fund in place, that's baby step 3. Then sometimes we call it baby step 3B, and people just pause right there and pile up cash for a down payment, which is what you're saying, and be intentional about that. You don't have to get to 20% down on your first home. The benefit of doing that, though, is, of course, you avoid PMI, private mortgage insurance.
Yep.
And so that, as young as you are, that might be the best route to go. I wouldn't not do retirement for more than about 3 years. Can you get what you want to do done in 3 years?
So I basically have been in my career for about 4 years. I just started putting money into my Roth recently last year. So that's basically how where I'm at with retirement. So now,
no, I'm saying if you stop retirement and you pile up cash for 3 years for a down payment, can you get where you want to be?
Yes.
Okay.
What's your household income, Lawrence?
I'm in commission sales.
Right.
So on a bad year, like 150 to 200. On a good year, 300 plus.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
you can definitely get where you want to be in 3 years.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I would do that. And you said you're what? You said you're 23?
27.
27.
27.
I wish I was 23. That'd be better.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you start saving for retirement at age 30 and you go from age 30 to age 65 and you save, 15% of your income through that whole period of time, you're going to be very, very wealthy.
Yes, you are.
And so take 3 years with an emergency fund in place first and save up your down payment, and then kick in once you buy the house. Then from then on, you're putting 15% aside for retirement and beginning to pay the house off early with anything above that you can find in the budget.
That's right. And Lawrence, I'm going to tell you, the things that will block you from getting to that is you going to look at stupid. And what I mean is the car or the truck or the boat. So what you really want to do is really commit to buying this home and having that down payment and making that job number one, and avoiding and blocking out anything else that leads you down the path toward debt, buddy. You are like a unicorn to be 27, making a great income and as focused as you are.
You're doing really good.
He really is.
Very well done. And the other warning is those of us that are great salespeople, me included, most of us have kind of an abundance mentality versus a scarcity mentality that Rachel talks about in Know Yourself, Know Your Money. And the tendency I had for a long time was I could always make money. And the mistake I made was I always thought I could out-earn my stupidity.
Me too. Gosh.
You can't out earn your stupidity. So you gotta really like Chris said, get dialed in on what the goal is. Just like when you've got a sales goal or anything else, what is the goal?
Yep.
And anything else is nope. I'm in training.
And you know the other stupid I did.
I'm in training.
Before I got connected with you is I kept saying when my income gets higher, I'll get more serious.
Yeah. Or I'll give more then. My generosity will go up.
Yeah.
Then. I'll pay a full tithe.
It's not true.
I'll pay a full tithe when my income goes up.
Right.
And it just never seems to get there.
No.
Chris is with us in Fort Walton Beach. Hi, Chris. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Good morning. How are you guys doing today?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
Got a question. So I'm 59. I've got about $315 in my 401k. I've been putting the max and the makeup contribution in there for the last 3 years.
Good.
I just sold a piece of property, so I'm going to have some income from that. Now, I have a 160 note on the house at 2.25, 15 years left on the note. I'm debating on whether to pay the house off. Then I would totally be able to howl like the rest of you guys and say I'm totally debt-free.
There you go.
Chris.
Or I could take that money and invest it, and because my rate of return from my people that are doing it right now has been averaging about 22% each year.
What's your
what's
your house worth?
It's about 260.
Okay. Well, if you're not gonna pay the house off, you should refinance the house and borrow as much against it as you possibly can and invest all of it.
Okay.
That not feel weird when I said that?
Well, no, and because it's the best low interest loan you're ever going to get.
But didn't that feel weird to you? It felt weird to me to say it. Didn't it feel like you were going backward?
Yeah.
Didn't it feel like you were going backward?
Well, sort of. But,
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day,
here's what I would
I'm
do.
making
How
better
much proceeds you get from the rental property when you sold it?
$200.
Okay. If I woke up in your shoes, is how I answer questions on this show, doing this for 30 years, I'd write a check. I'd jump online. As soon as I got off the phone, I'd pay your house off. Now, if you really hate being debt-free, down in the summer, the interest rates are still going to be low, and just go get you another mortgage.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You're not going to hate it.
I mean, that's what I've been struggling with.
Yeah.
Is because, like I said, I am totally debt free. I took your financial peace program years ago. I've had zero credit card debt. I've maintained that.
Yep.
And all
paid
of that, in
both.
spite of the fact that some of the things we taught you in financial peace don't feel mathematically correct, all of that has led to you prospering.
Mm-hmm.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And this is one more of them.
That's correct.
That's one more of them. Because what is not factored into the spread between what your mortgage interest rate is and the rate of return on your investments is risk. And the sense of well-being that you get with a paid-for home that's going to launch you into the last chapters of your extreme wealth building. So you are going to be 70 years old, and you're going to have $5 million in a paid-for house. That's the trajectory you are on right now.
Right.
I think you're going to be okay, man.
I do too. And buddy, I want you, Chris, to continue to be weird. You see, weird is what caused you to get out of debt. Being weird is what caused you to be willing to sacrifice and let go of that property because you knew that, hey, you can move forward. Continue the path of being weird and pay off that house. Take what you were paying on the mortgage to the home, and then you can start to kind of build that back up. Or, you know, you got things.
It was a great question.
It is a great question.
So here's what we're pushing against, folks. Chris is, and I am, and you are out there. The culture has taught us for 2 generations that we're always going to owe money to the man.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it's almost like I was watching the movie with Harriet Tubman the other night, and she would go up, and some of the slaves wouldn't leave. She would come all the way to the South, great personal danger to herself, to get people, to get the slaves on the Underground Railroad, and some of them would say, "No, I can't leave." The devil I know
Yep.
is more comfortable than what freedom looks like. And she's right. I'm right here. I can take you to freedom. I can take you to freedom. Oh no.
Wow.
And sometimes it takes the form of an intellectual analysis.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, you don't want to lose that low interest rate on that mortgage, or I get points back on my card, or But it still is, I'm going to just stay here, Harriet, even though you came south for me. I'm going to stay. The master's not too mean. He's not too mean. He doesn't whip me that often.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what's going on here. It's a spiritual thing, isn't it?
It really is.
It's a broken spirit.
It is. And
Who doesn't run when you have a chance to run?
When you have a chance to run.
It's a broken spirit.
That's a good point.
And this culture has broken John and Susie Public's spirit out here.
Yeah.
With these debts, and it's just a way of life. You're always going to have a car payment. Oh, what kind of fool doesn't have a credit card? You're so weird, Ramsey. I'm a very wealthy weirdo. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's the Dave Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I am Dave Ramsey, your host. Chris Hogan, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. #1 best-selling author, as we take your calls about life and about money. Open phones at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. All right, let's go to California and talk to Vanessa to kick off this hour. Hi, Vanessa. How are you?
Hi, Dave, Chris. I'm well. How are you guys?
Great. How can we help?
So I'm 21. I'm a community college pre-nursing student, and I have no debt right now. I am currently working towards baby step number 4. And my question was how I can be intentional with saving for a home with no credit card. I did have a credit card since I started working about 4 years ago, but I have decided to cancel that. But I am the first in my family to have that approach with getting a house with no credit card. So I'm kind of like learning as I listen to you guys. And I do have a 401 where I'm investing 10% right now. But I also want to learn more about investing since my job does give us these bean stocks every year, where I feel like I could be doing more with it.
So what are you making now?
I think right now I make about $25,000.
And you're studying to do what?
Nursing.
When will you graduate?
About 2 years. I am in the process of waiting for a response from a nursing school right now.
Okay. So have you got the money saved for nursing school?
Yes. I had been working on saving for that prior to starting to save for a home because I know I would have to pay for nursing school.
Phenomenal.
Yes.
Okay. I don't want you to buy a house until you get out of nursing school, pass your boards, and become a nurse, and pay cash for all of that. You've got plenty of time. You're 21. Okay? You're doing really good. You're amazing. Because your income is going to double or even triple depending on what type of nursing you go in and how much you work. And so when you come out of that, you're going to be in a completely different place. Let's set a goal of buying a home at 25 years old.
Okay.
Between now and then, if you use no credit and have no credit accounts open of any kind, your credit score should completely disappear.
Okay.
And if it completely disappears, then you will qualify for manual underwriting with a mortgage company that knows how to do that, like Churchill Mortgage. and they can sit down and say, oh, we have a nurse here that makes $75,000 a year, and she has $80,000 down payment, and she's paid her landlord early or on time for the last 6 years, and she has no debt of any kind, and this is a loan that can be made.
Okay.
Vanessa, listen to me. You have done a fantastic job. Okay?
Thank you, Chris.
No, I'm serious. You really have, because at 21 years old, young lady, I wasn't thinking like you at 21.
You weren't even thinking.
Okay, first of all, Dave, you just settle down. That's true. You are telling the truth. That's true. So, Vanessa, Dave just made sidetrack me. I'm very proud of you, because you can tell you are a goal-driven young lady.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
said you're the first one in your family to go to college. I got a feeling the rest of your life, you're going to be the first in your family to do a whole lot of things because you're goal-oriented.
Might be the first everyday millionaire.
She really could be, Dave, without a doubt. So proud of you. Stay focused, young lady. Keep listening to the show. Keep applying this stuff in your life. You're going places.
Vancouver's on the line. Pam's calling. Hi, Pam. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. Nice to talk to you.
You too.
And Chris, nice to talk to you as well. I'm calling. I'm going to be 65 at the end of the year, looking to retire, and I do have a pension of approximately $250, 401k approximately $150, mortgage approximately $300. The house is valued at $540. So I'm wondering, do I pay off my mortgage? Do I pull Social Security, which will be about $2,200 per month? Not sure what order to do things in.
The balance on the mortgage is what?
$300K.
So that's half of your money.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Ouch.
I know my payments are approximately $1,700.
Well, I think it's vital that we go into our later years with a paid-for mortgage. Using this much of your nest egg really makes me nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Me too.
To pay off that mortgage. What's the home worth?
$540.
Okay. All right. Well, here's what I would do. I would sit down with a SmartVestor Pro to help you place the 401k money and the remaining pension money into some good mutual funds as an investment. Most of those will be rollovers into IRAs so that you don't pay taxes on them, and that will allow that money to grow, and you can probably pull $20,000 a year, maybe a couple $1,000s a month, $1,500 to $2,000 a month off of that account in addition to your Social Security, and with a paid-for house, you probably can make that. But I want you to have a plan that you understand and are comfortable with for investing the remaining $300 well, because you've got that that has to do well for this idea to work. Because it just leaves me a little squeamish that you're not going to have but half your money left, and it's only $300K, and you pay for a house. I'm tempted to move you down in a house. Vancouver is a very expensive market, though.
Yeah, I was sitting here thinking, at $550, $540, you sell. Do you go buy a townhouse? Do you go down?
What I would do is I'd try it.
Yeah.
I'd pay it off, put the $300 invested well, and see if I can get the rhythm of my life to work off of what that investment creates plus Social Security.
Gotcha.
Without touching that nest egg.
Right.
And if we can keep the property taxes paid, keep the maintenance up, utilities, and we can have a good life and stay in that house, and it works out, fine. The worst case scenario is it doesn't work. It's too tight.
Right.
And because the investments aren't big enough, and you move down and you put more in investments.
Yeah.
You could do it as a two-step thing.
Yeah, you really
a
could.
Second step later.
And Pam, just remember those. You have those options, and I appreciate you reaching out to really lay that out, because I'm sure that's been weighing heavy on your head and heart and trying to figure it out. But don't go it alone. Yeah.
Get with a SmartVestor Pro. Click SmartVestor at DaveRamsey.com. These guys don't work for us, but they do investing analysis and teach you what to do. They're advisors the way we teach you here on the air. And so you're going to be sitting with someone with the heart of a teacher. Click SmartVestor Pro. You put in your name and stuff, and it'll drop down a list of the SmartVestor Pros in your area. You will select which one you want to use, and it'll work perfectly for you. And the guys and gals that do that are just incredible. You'll gain a lot of confidence in your plan as you understand what the investments are doing. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
Healthcare has gotten to be ridiculous. It puts people, on the brink. And so it would have put us on the brink had we not had CHM. CHM saved our life, saved our financial lives.
Christian Healthcare Ministries, or CHM, is not health insurance, but it is a budget-friendly option and the original health cost-sharing ministry for Christians. Learn more today and check us out at chministries.org. That's chministries.org.
Chris Hogan, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Our question of the day comes from Blinds.com. They have a 100% satisfaction guarantee, which means even if you screw up, if you mismeasure, you pick the wrong color, they'll remake your window blinds for free. That's kind of comforting. You get free samples, free shipping, and with the new promos they run every month, you save even more. Always use the promo code, the magic word, Ramsey.
All right, today's question comes from Stephanie in Massachusetts. She asks, my husband currently carries a $1 million policy on himself. It has 15 years remaining. Our children are 7, 6, and 4.5. We would like to extend the policy by another 5 years. We priced out a 20-year policy with Xander, and it's $200 a year more expensive than our current policy. My husband is 36 and in good health. Would you recommend switching now to gain the extra years, or should we wait another few years? Well, I
wouldn't switch.
And I wouldn't wait. As you look at this, your 7-year-old in 15 years will be 22. Your 6-year-old, 21. Your 5-year-old, essentially 20. Your kids are grown adults, right, and out of the home. If you're walking through the baby steps, you can be building wealth. So I, Dave, would be tempted to tell them to stay put.
At least stay put with that policy. If you want to buy an extra one a little later on and buy you a 10-year and supplement on top of that, you could do that. You're probably not going to want to, because what's going to happen is during this 15 years that's in question, that are remaining, you're not only going to become debt-free, house and everything, because you're going to pay off your home inside of 15 years. And on top of that, you will have been building wealth in your 401k and your Roth IRAs if you're following us. And so let's pretend that your youngest is 20, and at the exact moment that the policy expires, so does your husband, which is your worst possible scenario mathematically.
Right.
Okay? Every year he lives past that, the kid is older, and there's more money. But how much would be in your 401ks 15 years from now?
Yeah.
5, 6, 700,000?
Yeah.
And a paid-for house?
You're in a great position.
And, you will have had other wealth-building opportunities during that time as well to get the kids' college funds funded.
That's right.
So I wouldn't buy anything right now. Mm-hmm. I'm with you. I wouldn't spend any more on insurance. Mm-hmm. You're insured. I agree with you that you're kind of on the bubble. I'd like for that policy to have 5 more years. I don't disagree with you to give you the ultimate comfort. You could do that. I would not buy an entirely new policy to do that, though. I just buy a small extra policy in 5 or 6 years that is 10 years long, or something like that.
And Stephanie,
if the things I have said that haven't come true,
right? And the thing that Stephanie, you don't point out in here, you don't mention that you have a policy on you. So I again, in looking at this, to make sure that you have something on you, because if something happens to you, your husband has got to hire or find somebody to help with these kids.
Yeah, we got to cover you. And if you don't have a policy on you and you're going to go get one, you might get a spousal rider with him. You might get a dual policy like that is cheaper than what you're looking at. So the idea is, in general with life insurance, is as your debts go away your kids grow up, and your wealth increases in your 401k, every year that those things happen, you have less of a need for insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And so it decreases incrementally.
Right.
It's not all at once, but every year the kids are a year older, there's more money in your 401k and there's less debt.
That's true.
And so you're closer to being self-insured. You would need less money.
Right.
And so you won't need $1 million if he passed away in the last year of this policy. You'll be flush.
Mm-hmm.
And so point being, you're overinsured if you've worked this. But that's a fine way to do it. There's nothing wrong with that because it's not that expensive. Yeah. If the $200 a year gives you great peace of mind and you want to go ahead and do it, go ahead and do it. It's okay. But the way we're teaching you to do this is to become self-insured, because if you got $1 million in your 401k, you got no debt, and the kids are grown and gone, your need for life insurance just went away.
Yep.
She gonna make it.
She's gonna be all right.
He gonna make it.
Yeah.
They're gonna be all right. Nathan is with us in Utah. Hi, Nathan. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hey, thanks, Dave. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little excited and nervous. I'm not sure if you're gonna love me or you're gonna hate me.
Nah, we don't hate you. It's okay.
So, but first off, I have to say thank you because of your program and your book. I started listening a couple of years ago and slowly started implementing things. But about a year ago, my wife and I started to take things seriously. And now, last year, we were able to pay off all of our consumer debt. We've saved up 6 months of emergency fund, and we were able to put 20% down towards our house.
Great.
So we really felt good. We're really excited about. I feel like we can't fight about money when we have clear direction and both on the same page about finances. And I got a lot to thank to you for that.
Well, thank you.
My question is mostly revolved around business debt, and my job and my wife's job are separate. My job is full-time working for the business that we own. Now it's a little complicated because my wife and I bought the business from my parents, and I also have a business partner. And my parents did seller financing. Now, I'm sure you're probably already making weird faces at me, but it's very contractual. It's very legal. We made sure to make sure that any questions or concerns people had, we have it in an operations agreement, in a buy-sell agreement, so that way, like, there's no concern about anybody getting cheated like that. And it's going pretty well. But the one concern that I have is I'm just not sure quite how to treat the business debt and if I should be attacking that. Like, I'm actually on step 2 rather than full 5 and 6. Like I thought I
How much do you owe your parents?
So we owe $350,000.
And what do you make?
Between my wife and I, like I said, she has a separate job, but we have a base salary of $105,000 a year. The business profits between $20,000 and $50,000 a year right now. It'll profit more as we have to invest less to make improvements right now.
So you make $150,000 and your wife makes what?
Sorry, together we make $105,000 a year.
Oh, okay. So together you make about together you're going to make about $150,000 then. Okay. With the actual profits from the business and everything, right? Right?
I think got a bad connection.
I think that phone that was struggling finally went out.
Here's the thing I wonder, is that 20 to 50 profit in the business, is that what he has to split amongst his business partner?
I think that was his part.
Yeah.
That was my guess. So I think you got $150,000 income, you got $350,000 business debt. It is squirrely that it's to your parents, and it is squirrely that you have a partner. These are two things that are going to trip you up if you don't get them straightened out. We don't see a very high success level with either one of those things as we worked with tens of thousands of companies in entree leadership. Lots of people try this crap, but it very seldom turns out well. So the fastest you can get rid of it, the better. No, you need an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses. Yes, your business needs to operate with retained earnings, and I would take everything you can squeeze out above that, and instead of paying off your home early, I would pay this business debt off early. But I mean, if you do it at $50,000 a year, it's 7 years.
Yeah.
If you do it at $70,000 a year, that's half of your income. You still got 5 years. And so you paid an awful lot for this portion of this business based on the profits it generates. Like overpaid your parents. It wasn't worth what you paid them, is what you're telling me, based on the profits it's generating. So, because your salary, if that's what it takes to hire a manager to do what you do, does not calculate in the valuation of the business. And so what you're describing is a business that your portion of the business makes about $40,000 a year, and so that was worth $200 max. Ouch. There's the problem. There's the rub. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. What makes our show unique is that we genuinely care about our listeners. We're intentional about choosing the best advertisers to recommend. Blinds.com is no exception. They offer high-quality window treatments at unbelievable prices. And they make it simple to shop blinds, shades, and interior shutters with easy online ordering, free shipping, and a guaranteed perfect fit. Go to Blinds.com and take advantage of this week's special savings. Chris Hogan, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Valerie is with us in Los Angeles. Hi, Valerie. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hi. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
I have a question about whether my husband and I would be able to be self-insured. We kind of had a crazy year. I started following you about a couple of years ago, and I have whole life policies. We've had them for a while. So I did check with Xander on a few on quotes, but I do have $147,000 that I can cash out, which I know that's what you'll advise me to do. Mm-hmm. But I'm just trying to figure out if we're able to be self-insured or if we need insurance. My husband has been off of work, so he's not getting an income now. So right now we are surviving without his income. So I don't know if, I guess I just need some advice.
How old are you guys?
We're both 55.
You have kids at home?
No kids.
Okay. And is your home paid for?
My house is paid for, and the building that the house is paid for, and then the building that my business is in is paid for. We do have two properties that I'm trying to get paid to. That's kind of what my advice is too, on if I could use that money to pay down one of the properties.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And the building, the commercial building is worth what?
About $1 million.
Okay. And how much is in your savings and in your nest egg, your 401ks and investments?
So I calculated, it looks like we're just under $3 million.
$3 million. Okay. Mm-hmm. So the answer to the question is, the way you ask the question is this. If he died tomorrow and you got no life insurance with $3 million, $1 million building, and your business, would you be okay? Answer, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I guess my concern would be for the role for him right now, because he's not working right now.
Okay, so then let's reverse it. If you died tomorrow, mm-hmm. and he has $1 million commercial building on a business, what would happen to your business? Would it close?
Well, see, that's the thing, too. I think he could. I guess my concern is it'd be nice probably for him to have just a little money for him to feel better. He could run.
Wait a minute. He's got $1 million commercial building. He has a business that he can sell or operate, his choice, and he has $3 million in investments. I miss how he's not going to be okay.
No, I guess I know he'll be okay, but as far as like we're like as far as our personalities, I'm probably more of the property person. That's my passion. I love it. So I guess for him to be okay until he gets those sold. I guess I'm on the fence whether I feel like we'll be okay. I know we can have to sell some property.
Well, Valerie, let me help you, honey. Your feelings right now are all up in a knot. Hear my voice. I know it's soft and cuddly, but hear it. You're fine. You guys are going to be just fine.
Yeah, $3 million.
You're self-insured. And so if you look at this and with the whole life, you want to take that and pay down on the property, absolutely do that.
Yeah, I would not buy life insurance if I were in your shoes.
You're good.
I think he can struggle through on $3 million if you die.
I know, and that's kind of what I feel. But just with COVID, with him being out of work.
Well, if he is he going to make? Let's pretend just for a second he made 10% on that money. He can't make it on $300,000 a year with COVID.
Yeah.
Well, let's pretend it makes 6%. Okay. I hope it's invested better than that. I hope you guys got it invested in good mutual funds. But if it makes 5%, he has to live on $150,000
with no debt.
Oh, and there's the rent coming off the $1 million building and the rent coming off the rental houses.
Yeah. And
he doesn't have a house payment.
He's the third pig, Valerie.
I think he's okay. I think he's the third pig in the brick house. You're going to be all right. I mean, you just run some math on the numbers that you have, and that answers the question: are you going to be okay if he dies? And then, on top of that, you say, that's just the way you answer the question. And it's not okay emotionally.
Right.
Of course, if you die, he's going to be a basket case.
That's right.
And, poor Sharon, I mean, she would just grieve for 20 minutes.
No, Dave, you know better than that. But Valerie brings up a good point. When you get that emotional with it and you get that wrapped up, you do need to go sit down with your investment professional. You do need to get printouts of the numbers and do the zero. When you write out $3 million, don't put 3M. I want you to put 3 and then comma 000 comma 000.00. I want you to see this and then let the numbers go. Or
sit down with your investment advisor or your SmartVestor Pro if you don't have one, get one, and say, let's invest this $3 million properly. What is it going to create in income?
Right.
And then you go, I think either one of us can live on that.
We're good.
If either one of us aren't here.
That's right.
And that's how you answer the question, are you self-insured from a life insurance perspective?
Yes.
And that's what we're looking at here. So very, very good question. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Kim is with us. Kim is in Philadelphia. Hi, Kim. How are you?
Hi, Dave. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So my question is around baby step 4. I just completed baby step 3, where I have $10,000 saved, and baby step 3B, where I have about $50,000 saved for a down payment on a home. So I feel like I'm ready to embark, thank you, on baby step 4. So my company currently offers, through Fidelity, a regular 401k, a regular Roth 401k, and an after-tax Roth 401k. The match is 3.5% of the first 7%, and then we have profit-sharing bonuses throughout the year. And my current income is about $175 a year.
You're rocking, girl. Mm-hmm. Well done. Well done. It feels good, doesn't it?
It does. It feels great to be in this position.
Yeah. So you want to do the match first, the Roth second. So I'm going to do a Roth 401k, take the match. Mm-hmm. Does your 401k have good options with Fidelity? I assume it does. Fidelity's got some good funds.
It does.
Okay, so you can pick out the four types of funds we talk about, and you should be able to get, 10 to 12% average over the last 20 years with some good Fidelity funds there, and pick those out, and that's your projection going forward. Mm-hmm. If they do that, you can just do the 401k. You can do side Roth IRAs if you want to, but with your income, you can max out that 401k, and you don't even need to max it out to get to you will. You'll have to max it out to get to 15%, and you have to do a side Roth as well.
Yep.
Yeah. So so that's what we're going to do, and but to go ahead and do that 401k maxed out to the Roth and to get all the match you can. The profit sharing comes. It doesn't go into the 401k, does it?
Yes, it does.
Oh, okay. But it goes in whether you put money in there or not.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. But the match you get. So we're going to get the match. We're going to do the Roth, and then you're probably going to do a side Roth with a with a SmartVestor Pro in order to get to all the way up to your proper 15%. You said $170,000 income, right?
$175,000, yeah. I mean, again, we keep hearing these younger people that have plugged in early and are doing this stuff. Great incomes, but no debt. And so you see this and you realize, boy, oh boy, if you start off on the right track, if you start off getting our foundations curriculum into high schools and helping young people start to understand how this money stuff works, they can avoid some of the pitfalls. And it's really important to have that mindset. But also, regardless, if you're out there, regardless of where you are, you can do this as well. We all have different start points, but we're all running the same race. And so it's really a matter of getting more focused, more intentional about your game plan for yourself. You can do this. And we here at Ramsey Solutions, well, we're here to help.
All right, so 170, 15% would be 25.5. I cheated and got the calculator out while you were yakking. And the limit for the 2021 401k is 19.5.
Yeah.
And so she got to put $6,000 more in the traditional Roth to get to 15%.
Yep.
So 401k maxed out 19.5 plus a $6,000 into a Roth IRA with a SmartVestor Pro,
15%.
all in good growth stock mutual funds. You're going to be so rich you're not going to know what to do. Richie Rich. What was that?
That was my karate move, Dave.
This is jiu-jitsu right here.
There you go.
You and Craig Rochelle going again. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Chris Hogan, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Time to put 2020, that freaking dumpster fire of a year, in our rearview mirror. If you are ready to own 2021, this year coming up, and actually accomplish your goals with your money, your career, your life, we got a plan. Last year left us all with wounds, left us all feeling stressed out. And so to start with, for 2021, start with our newest quick read from Dr. John Deloney, Redefining Anxiety, to learn what anxiety is, what it's not, and how to get your life back. The best part is it's only $10. And this year, many of us need to spend some time reconnecting with God, to rest, reset. Christy Wright's new women's devotional called Living True, 40 Days to Get Back to You, will help you feel like you again. And to help you with your money goals, pick up Rachel Cruz's brand new book, Know Yourself, Know Your Money. This book will help you tackle your money mindset faster. It just came out on the bestseller list the last couple of weeks as a brand new book has come out. Be sure and check out Know Yourself, Know Your Money. And if you want to learn how to be an everyday millionaire, the guy sitting beside me wrote the #1 best-selling book, Everyday Millionaires, How Ordinary People Built Extraordinary Wealth, and How You Can too. Lots of good reading to do.
Yeah, you really do. And Dave, don't forget about the original, the OG out there, the Total Money Makeover. This book was the game changer for me. It's the one that helped me get out of my head and get a plan on paper. And it'll help you too. DaveRamsey.com/store. Just hit the store at our website, DaveRamsey.com, and you can get serious. You can make some real progress. You got to feed your brain this year, people. Yeah, you do.
You got to offset some of that garbage that went in there last year. That pandemic infected your brain, and it wasn't with COVID. So you got to get it cleaned out. It's the way it is out there, man. There's so much crap out there, so much meanness, hateful, nasty, trolling morons. They're everywhere,
They
man.
really are. And I'm going to tell you something. There's a drink for haters. It's called Haterade. And you got to be careful. You need to be aware of the stuff you're putting in, the stuff you're consuming for you and your future. As former pastor, God rest his soul, David Foster said, if it's not helpful, hopeful, or doesn't promote healing, it doesn't need to be talked about. I love that. Wrote that phrase down. So get some positive in your life, get some positive people in your life, and put some boundaries in place for them crazy folks.
New stuff in your brain so you get a new result in your life.
Yeah.
Joanne is with us. Joanne's in Raleigh, North Carolina. Hi, Joanne. How are you?
Hi, Dave. Thanks so much for taking my call. I'm really honored to speak to you today.
Honored to speak with you. How can we help?
Thanks. I've read the book, been doing things kind of Dave-ish, started binge listening recently, watched the reset last night, and just really want to get our situation under control and looking for some help and advice.
Cool.
My husband's been unemployed for 13 months. He does have a side hustle right now. I'm working full-time. We do have $38,000 in savings, a couple of little pieces of debt, and just wondering what you would suggest for us to do right now.
I think you're doing the right thing. Just hold on to the money until we get him reemployed. What do you make?
$82,500.
And what did he used to make?
$110 to $130.
Doing what?
Sales management.
Okay. So why has he been unemployed for 13 months?
Because he's not able to find another job.
In sales management, and he used to make over $100,000 doing it.
Yes.
How old is he?
49.
Okay. Because an interview, has he actually had a physical interview?
He's had a few of them, yeah.
Okay, because an interview is a sales meeting.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sales call.
True.
And if he knows how to sell and knows how to train people and run people doing sales, he ought to own an interview. So,
Joanne, what's the problem?
Yeah, is he depressed?
Probably. I'm sure. I think anybody would be.
Yeah.
How are you feeling with this?
Completely stressed, overwhelmed.
Yeah. You have
trying
to be.
just keep it together.
No, you have to be. Have you told him about how you're feeling?
Yes.
Okay.
So let's back up a second. Okay. What I would say is I'm going to spend about 90% of the energy of our suggestion on him getting employed. So let's first go to KenColeman.com, and I'm going to send you a copy of The Proximity Principle, the book I want him to read from Ken, but I want him to download things that he already knows about how to prepare a resume properly, but Ken's going to help him do that even better. And it's a free download.
Okay, awesome.
I want you to download at KenColeman.com how to do the interview. He already knows how to do this. Now, here's what I want you to I want him to hear, and you play this back when it's on the podcast for him. Okay, what's his name?
Okay. Roy.
What?
Roy.
Okay, Roy, here's the deal. 49 years old, made $100,000 a year plus in sales and sales management. That is not an easy bicycle to ride.
Nope.
Not everybody can ride that bike. And you have mastered riding that bike. You got your teeth kicked in, and you got knocked off the bike. It hurts like crud. And so you are not doing what you and I know you know how to do. Sales is the law of large numbers, and it's the law of relationships and connections. And you're going to have to start getting your foot in the door, and you're going to have to start wearing out some shoe leather and dialing for dollars and doing what you know how to do, and that is creating tons of activity around moving a product. The product is a wonderful product. His name is Roy, and he knows how to sell. And you 3 interviews in 13 months sucks. If you worked for you in the sales and the guy only made 3 sales calls in 13 months, you'd have fired him. So I'm jacking you up here, Coach. Time to get out there after halftime. The team is behind, and you are better than you feel like you are. You are a guy who has made 6 figures in sales. A guy who can make 6 figures in sales can always find a job selling. I can promise you, if you walk in here, and in our organization, we love salespeople. And I promise you, you walk in here, you'd get an interview, and you might even get a hire if you've got good character and you're a good man and you bothered to take a bath before you came to the interview. So do the stuff you know how to do, jack it up, get the law of large numbers working for you. Let's smile, and let's talk to a whole bunch of people with that beautiful smile, and you know how to sell. And you just got to you got to believe in the product again. And when you get knocked in the teeth that hard, it's hard to believe. It hurts.
It really is.
It doesn't mean you don't get back up and go in the second half. just because you got creamed in the first half.
And Joanne, you've got a great opportunity to be able to support him and encourage him. Be real about what you're feeling. But his ego is low right now. His belief in himself is low right now. And so you can help him. And in turn, that's going to help you all together with this situation. So,
Chris, there's a thing about momentum.
Yeah.
When you have momentum, when that you just interviewed Matthew McConaughey on his new book Green Lights. He calls it green lights. When you're in a flow and you're catching all the lights green,
yep,
that's positive momentum. You are not as good as you look.
That's right.
You look better than you are because everything's going right.
Yeah, no,
everything you touch turns to gold. And when you get kicked in the teeth like Roy did, and you get knocked off your bicycle, you got no momentum. You got negative momentum.
That's right.
You are better than you look.
Right.
In those situations. You are better than you feel in those situations. Now, if you told me that he wanted to get a job making $110,000 in sales and he had never made over 40 in sales, I'd say, he's probably doesn't need to be in sales.
That's exactly right.
But this is a guy who's a proven track record. This is a coach who's had winning season after winning season and got fired.
Yep.
And he needs another coaching job because he's a winner.
That's right. That's exactly right, Dave. And it's out there. And he can do it again, getting the mojo back. But I like what you're saying. Get out there, get some activity happening now, ASAP. And Ken Coleman's information will help you. You get over there on Ken's website. He did a Get Hired event. He's got resources about your resume. He's got all kinds of things that'll help you, Roy. And again, it's going to be stuff you know, but guess what? Let's do it.
And do it a lot, and do it often, and do it, and do it, and do it, and do it, as my friend Art Williams says. Just don't stop doing it.
I remember
Just kick
hearing
it,
him.
and kick it, and kick it, and do it, and do it, and do it. And that's what you got to do here, man.
That's right.
And there's no substitute for it. It isn't gonna, there's no digital strategy that's gonna fix this crap.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to get out there and kick some butt and take some names.
Yep.
This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's the Dave Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I am Dave Ramsey, your host, Chris Coleman. That's a combination of Hogan and Coleman. Chris Hogan, that guy, is Ramsey personality #1 best-selling author. Know him well, I do. Is my co-host today. The phone number is 888-825-5225. Benjamin is with us in Washington to start off this hour. Hey, Benjamin, how are you?
Hey, Dave, doing well. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So I'm married. I've got a 10-month-old. We're looking at getting out of baby step 2, paying off around $80,000 of debt. We've got $22,000 of student loans left.
Good.
We've got about, thank you. Yeah, praise God. So it's been a journey, that's for sure. We've got about $12,000 saved and expecting an income boost around March, and the boost may be just enough to cross the finish line with maybe $1,000 for an emergency fund. So my question is, is there any kind of rule of thumb? I've tried to, I've looked through the archives, and I think I may have seen some answers, but I just
I'm Stop. I'm confused. Did you just say you had $12,000 in the bank?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you're not working the plant.
Yes.
You're not working the baby steps.
Well, we're this past year we were.
So you're working your plan.
Yeah, well, Yeah.
Okay, if you want to work our plan, you write $11,000 check today, and now you owe $11,000 on your student loans, and you have $1,000 in your account. And then we can ask a question.
That might answer my question. I was going to ask about like a rule of thumb for my situation, considering we have a baby. But it's.
Are your jobs unstable?
No.
Okay.
I think
you feed the baby then.
Grow over. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Benjamin,
Okay.
the only time you would have adjusted is if you'd had a loss of income or been furloughed. Then we were telling people to stockpile money. But even in that, during that period, once your income got stabilized or your hours got stabilized, the money you had saved, you would get back on the plan. So you just need to write that check if you're going to do our plan. Now, like Dave always says, you'd reserve the right to do whatever you want. But I want you to know, this side of the finish line is better.
Then when you finish the other $11,000 in that student, what's your household income?
Let me pull it up here. I had to sort of write it all out.
Ballpark.
I think we're about $120,000 between.
Phenomenal.
The two of us.
Way to go, dude. Well done.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to knock that other 11 out in what, 2 months?
Yeah, we're projecting in March. I was like, should I wait on that $10,000 student loan forgiveness? But I know you say about waiting on the government. So.
If you wait on the government to fix your life's always going to suck. So that's a rule of thumb.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to write $11,000 a day. We're going to be debt free in the next 2 months, and then you're going to build an emergency fund. And you've heard us say it 1,000 times. You wanted to know how much is in your emergency fund. 3 to 6 months of household expenses. Which in your household, it sounds to me like is $5,000 roughly a month would probably keep you afloat.
$5,700.
$5,700. Okay, I was pretty close, almost like I've done this before. And so six times 3 or 6 times 6.
Yeah.
So we're between $18,000 and $36,000 for your fully funded emergency fund. You've got a new baby. Everybody's concerned about that, including me. Why don't we round that up a little bit and just say we're going to be at about $30,000 for your emergency fund when you're finished with it?
I think the period of like paying it all off and then building it up, that kind of starting from 1,000, I think is the challenge in my mind. I think that may be causing stress, but
I want it to.
Okay.
I want it to be a whip on your back that causes you to run through the finish line at freaking sprint mode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The purpose of this is for you to not be comfortable, to run like your hair is on fire to get out of debt. That's called gazelle intensity, and that will cause you to be very freaking focused on not only getting out of this debt, but getting that emergency fund in place. Because, dude, the number of people who can be debt-free but they're home and have a fully funded emergency fund is only about 10% of the people in America that do it. Now, everybody can do it, but almost no one does.
That's right.
So you're going to be in the top 10% of Americans when you have no payments but a house payment and $30,000 in the bank, which makes you officially the third pig. I mean, you are the pig in the brick house, right?
Without a doubt.
And when pandemic comes and he huffs and he puffs and he blows other people's house down, you're sitting there with $30,000 cash and not a payment in the world but your house payment and a baby you have protected well. Good daddy.
Yep. And here's the thing. Don't think about the money that's leaving you in the savings. Think about the money that's leaving you that's debt. Think about the interest that you're paying, which is a penalty. So it's just a shift in paradigm, Benjamin.
It's called intense freaking lay your ears back focus.
Get it gone.
Get her done.
Yeah, buddy. And you can. And just think of the legacy your 10-month-old is going to have.
Yeah.
It's a game changer, my friend. So, again, I understand that line of thinking, but you got to think different to get different.
At the end of 90 days, you will have as much money as you have today.
Yeah, you really will.
Because you will be debt-free, and you will have started rebuilding that emergency fund.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about a long time. We're not leaving you out on the edge of a cliff all winter. You're talking about 90 days from today, you'll be right back where you are today, except Sally Mae will be gone. There's that.
There's big. That's big.
So
come on, buddy. You can do it, Benjamin.
What is interesting, and the reason I point that out, Chris, is, and for you guys listening, you need to do this for yourself sometimes too. I have to do it too. Is that sometimes we perceive this risk or this pain or this fear, or this horrible thing, until we put a little timeline on it and we go, well, that's not very long.
That's right.
By next Friday, this will be over.
Right.
By then, it's this really sucks.
Yep.
But in a week, it'll be a memory.
Yep.
Or in 3 months, I'll be right back where we are, minus the student loans.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're leaving this little family in peril.
No.
We're not dangling on a thread. Because Ramsey doesn't understand that $1,000 isn't much anymore. No. All this bull crap that you see on Twitter about us.
Right.
And how stupid we are and all that stuff. So, but I think the point is that, like for instance, okay, we're not going to a restaurant. We're not going out to eat. We're not going to go on vacation while we're in baby step 2. We're gazelle intense. We're selling everything. We're working extra. We're on beans and rice and beans, scorched earth. We sell so much stuff the kids think they're next. We're completely focused. You don't do that for 20 years.
Right.
Most people do it for 20 months.
Right. I think
some do it for 30 months.
Right.
Not many do it for 3 years.
Right. That's
almost everyone that we coach ends up debt free except their home inside of 36 months. Like 90-something% of them.
Yeah, it's high. That's a good point. And
it's
can do
not
anything.
Forever.
You can do anything for a little while, people.
That's it.
Get it.
This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
We were drawn to Christian Healthcare Ministries because we both had young families and we wanted to have more children. And we had also just started a real estate company and needed to find healthcare coverage that would meet our needs. We were attracted to CHM because of its low monthly costs and the ability to negotiate medical costs down.
Established in 1981 and accredited by the Better Business Bureau, CHM is here to meet the needs of your growing family or small business. Check us out at chministries.org.
We absolutely believe in it.
You ever feel like you'll never save enough money or pay off all your debt? After a year like 2020, a lot of people lost hope. They feel like they're stuck. Well, money should not be one more thing that you have to worry about or be stuck about. That's why in 2021 we are hitting reset, because no matter what's happening in the world, you can take control of your money. You just need a plan. And a proven plan. Ramsey Plus is our step-by-step plan, helps you get the quick wins so you can make real progress on your debt, because once you get all your debt out of your life, you have money. And what that means is you can start investing, you can start spending, and you can make it happen. You can be outrageously generous. All these things happen. So if you want to get in Ramsey Plus, that's where Financial Peace University is. That's where the Every Dollar Premium app is, the Baby Steps Tracker app, the Ask a Coach, the communities that are going to cheer you on, all kinds of other classes in there too. Man, this thing's chocked full. You can do a free trial. Wow. That's kind of ridiculous. So time for a reset. Go to DaveRamsey.com/reset. And the Ramsey Plus team will help you with those small daily wins. They'll hold your hand, show you exactly what to do. This, and then do this, and then do this for 90 days. And there's nothing better than a great start. DaveRamsey.com/reset. Jackson is with us in Utah. Hi, Jackson. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Thank you. I just want to first say thank you for your show. I've been listening for about a month now, and I absolutely love it.
Well, thanks. How can we help?
So just a little background. I'm 19 years old. I have $23,000 in the bank with a $16,000 auto loan that I have a 2-year plan to pay it off. So I leave to basic training in a week from today, and when I get back, I plan to have $30,000 before I go to school again in the fall. And so my question is, should I invest in a Roth IRA right now, or should I get that car paid off?
When you go to school in the fall, is the military paying for it?
Yeah, so I'll get my tuition paid for 100%.
Cool. Good for you.
Yes. So
which branch are you going into, Jackson?
The Army National Guard.
Okay. Good for you. That's a good program they've got. We've been sponsored by them and been bragging on them for many years. They're just wonderful. It's a wonderful program you're doing. Write a check and pay off your car today.
And pay it off today?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Does that kind of put your stomach in your throat a little bit, Jackson?
Yeah, it does a little bit. But
Yeah. Well, you got a pretty expensive car for this situation. You could consider moving down in car because you're a college student with a $16,000 car.
Yeah.
And the good news is your college is paid for. Are you getting a stipend as well?
Yeah.
How much?
Yeah, so, well, not a stipend, but I do get the benefits from the Guard, which comes out to almost $1,000 a month.
Okay.
If that's what you're asking.
All right. And are you living on campus or at home?
So I just barely moved home from college, but in the fall or in the summer, I'll be living in student housing after basic training.
Okay, but in this coming fall, you said you're going to school, right?
Yeah.
And you will be on campus then?
Yeah.
Is that paid for plus $1,000, or you need the $1,000 to pay for that?
No, it's the tuition's paid for plus $1,000.
No, what about the housing?
No, I'll be paying for the housing.
Out of the $1,000?
Yes.
Okay. So what I'm trying to figure out is if you pay off that car today, are you going to have enough money to go to school in the fall and pay your bills?
Yeah, I plan to. I have a job right now that pays $17 an hour, so I plan to work part-time for 20 hours a week.
Even while you're in school? Okay.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah,
okay.
that is.
All right, so if you can, I want you to go back and check my numbers, okay?
Right.
But I think I'm understanding you. With the tuition paid for and the $1,000 stipend and the $17, plus you've got $7,000 left over, and you said you'd have 30 by the time you get back home, so that's another 7. So you'd have 14 in there. I just want you to be able to go to school with zero debt and no car payment and be able to eat. If you can do all of that, I want you to pay off your car today. If you cannot do all of that, I want you to sell your car and move down in car and pay cash for the car that allows you to do that. One of those two things. I think you can pull it off.
Yeah.
If I've understood your numbers correctly in this conversation, I think you can pull it off.
Now, and Dave, you point out the point of understanding that's too much car for his income. Okay?
Well, in his situation, he's a college student,
right? And he's forward thinking. I mean, number one, to be 19 and have $23,000 saved isn't an accident. That's a big deal. And so, great job there.
Yes,
$16,000 loan. No,
not so great job.
Not so good. Right? Yeah. So it's like the happy Hogan, sad Hogan. You don't want to do that. But buddy, to stroke that check, if you run the numbers, oh my friend, you'll be set up.
That's an emoji, right?
It is an emoji. It really is.
Happy Hogan, sad Hogan emojis. At least a meme.
Yeah.
At least a meme.
We got a meme.
You got to do it.
And speaking of, if you've not checked out the Chris Hogan Show, I want you to check it out. Get over there.
Speaking of that,
I am notorious for facial gestures and expressions. They've got GIFs and things set up on the team shows during the show, but we have a lot of fun. The Chris Hogan Show, check it out. You can find it on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google, all the things. We have a lot of fun. It's caller driven as well, and we do some segments called Panicked or Pumped.
Do we get to see Happy Hogan?
Yes,
Hogan?
we do. And Dave, I've got a flag that I throw on people who are doing stupid.
Oh, so like
I throw a penalty flag.
A football throwback.
I throw a penalty flag on them.
Football throwback.
That's right. But you got to come check it out.
Are you wearing your little referee mask?
No.
They take it on and off so much they might as well not be wearing it.
It's so frustrating to me.
It's hilarious.
It is.
It's
it really
hilarious.
is.
So
no mass. Hogan's doing the show. It's just me having fun. Come on, check it out, people.
Happy Hogan,
yes.
Sad Hogan emojis.
Yes.
I knew there was going to be some money I could make on you someday. I'll sell that right now. I'm going to put that on the store. Sell it for $1. Sell it for $1.50.
There you go.
Sell about $1 million of them by nightfall.
There we go. Make a few dollars.
There we go. Sam's in Philadelphia. Hey, Sam, what's up, man? Sam?
Hey,
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Oh, I'm so happy to be on. In the last 2 days, I probably binged like 25 hours of your podcast, so it's really nice to be on.
Man, you need to get some sleep.
Are you new? Are you new to Dave?
So I started seeing some of your Instagram videos maybe 4 months ago. And I kind of recently just kind of get into podcasts, and I saw your video the other day. I was like, oh, maybe I should try, get into this, and I am hooked, man.
Well, we're honored, brother. That's awesome. How can we help you today?
So personally, I'm following pretty well. I'm working. I was about $55,000 in student loan debt. I should be done this time next year, which I'm really excited about. I'll be debt free.
Good.
But I'm actually calling about my parents because.
How old are you?
I am. On Monday, I'll be 24.
Okay, and what's your household income?
I make 52.
Okay, and you want to know how to get them doing what you're doing?
Yes, they are doing honestly exceptionally well. I mean, they're making really good money, but they seem like they're saving more, and they have debt. I mean, they have a motorcycle, a car, and they still have the house to finish.
Yeah. What you're going to run into, Sam, is what we call the powdered butt syndrome.
Yep.
Once someone has powdered your butt, they don't really want your advice on sex or money. And so your chances of you teaching your parents this stuff is very low. The only thing I can suggest you do is you tell your story.
Yes.
Don't tell them what they should do. You tell your story. Mom and Dad, look what I'm doing. Look what I'm doing. Look what I'm doing. Look what I'm doing. You might infect them with the virus. And I'm not talking about COVID.
No, the
happy Hogan virus.
That is, seriously.
It's the happy Hogan virus.
Live it, share it, and tell about it, buddy. I'm telling you.
Yeah, just talk about your story. Tell them what you are doing. Oh, no. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Folks, it's an honor to tell you about the Army National Guard. Not only are they big supporters of our high school curriculum, but they also give you the opportunity to impact your local communities. Whether your goals are to get an education, serve your country, or have a better life, the Army National Guard can help get you there. Plus, they offer unbelievable financial benefits. Secure your future today. Visit nationalguard.com to find out more. Chris Hogan, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Dave is in Pensacola. Hi, Dave. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I appreciate listening to your show. We enjoy it.
Thank you. How can we help?
I have a quick question. I was going to get your opinion on a medical bill. We have Christian health care, and we had an incident where I was injured, and all expenses were paid except for transport. They don't cover transport unless it's life-threatening. That's the policy we had. And long story short, transport was close to $55,000.
Good Lord. What'd you do, fly the bird?
Yeah. No, and I didn't even get the parachute. That was... matter of fact, I was pretty much out for the whole short flight. I could have.
So you got life flighted?
No, I didn't. It was just flown to another city to where they could do a surgery on my hand. They couldn't do it in the city that I was in, and so in my hometown. So they chose to fly me elsewhere to have the procedure done.
Why did you not? Were you awake? Who was advocating for you?
I was awake, but it was an amputee. I'd cut off a had cut off a finger, and they felt like it was important to get me to the nearest city as quick as possible to have it
reattached.
Back on.
Did it work?
Reattached. No.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I had to go back a week later and have it, have it removed. It was my. But anyway, that was my question to you: is should I be, concerned about that bill in terms of right now I'm just paying $25 a month.
You got to be concerned about it. I mean, it's a legitimate bill, and they can come after you for it.
Concerned is the wrong word. What should I expect to? Would you negotiate?
Yes.
Is that reasonable to?
Yes.
Try to pay that entire amount, or should I try to negotiate that down? I was going to get your thoughts.
Well, do you have $55,000?
No.
Okay, then we don't have a choice.
Okay.
What's your household income?
About 70.
Okay. All right. I think I would talk to the president of that air company. They're probably a local company there. And where did they fly you from and to? Pensacola to where?
Birmingham.
Okay, in a jet?
Prop plane. Turboprop.
Okay. Their hard cost in that flight was 1/10 of what they're charging you. It did not cost them $5,500 to make that flight in a turboprop.
$55,000.
No, I said 1/10 of that is their fuel. Their fuel cost and their.
It didn't cost them.
Yeah,
Okay.
they already own the airplane. They got to put fuel in the airplane. They got to pay a pilot. And they're paying insurance and hangars and other stuff, and they're running a business. I get all that. But in terms of if you chartered a turboprop from Pensacola private to go to a ball game in Birmingham, you would pay $5,500 over and back.
Okay.
Go look it up. Go look at a charter site. Go look at air charters.
Okay.
Okay, and that'll help you mean that we're not putting this poor guy out of business by him charging you $55,000. I understand it's a medical flight,
right,
and all of those kinds of things, but I don't. That helps me with my conscience. In other words, in your case, I'm going to call up and settle this for 10 cents on the dollar. And what will help you to do that is two things. One is you need information, and so go to a charter site and just figure out, find out, get a bid from two different charter companies for a turboprop, like a King Air. Okay, a two, something like that. Mm-hmm. 2-engine craft, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You can tell I've done this before. All right. So, in terms of chartering stuff, so yeah, go charter it. You'll be amazed, and then go look at what it costs to charter it, and go call the president of the life flight company, whoever they are, and say, listen, I only make $70,000 a year. My insurance does not cover this. I don't have $55,000. I'm grateful for the flight, even though I wasn't able to keep the finger. It didn't work out, but I'm still grateful. You all did your job, and I'm not accusing you of doing anything wrong. I'm asking for some mercy. And I looked and I saw that I could have chartered the flight without it being a medical flight for about $5,500. Would you consider working with me?
Yeah.
And giving me some kind of a discount so I can just write you a check and call this a day. I owe you something. I can't pay you $55. And you're just being humble with your hat in your hand. You're not being arrogant. Right. You're not accusing him of ripping you off or doing anything wrong. He didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
There's no villain in this story, okay? But he's not going to lose $55,000 by you writing this down to $5,500. He's going to break even.
That's what I was concerned about. I wanted to make a morally the right decision.
Yeah. And think about the way I always think about these things too is if a guy called me and the thing was reversed, you own his company now, and he's going to call you. Okay. I make $70,000 a year. I don't have any money. The the digit, the reattachment of the finger did not work, but that's not your fault. You guys did your job. Thank you so much. I was curious of what it actually cost you to take me up there, and I know that you got expenses and planes, and I know you're running a business, and I'm not trying to do this. I just don't have any money, and I looked it up, and I could have private chartered this for about $5,000 or $3,800 or $6,200 or whatever the actual number is. It's going to be somewhere in there. It's going to be less than 10.
Yeah.
And would you take that if I can scrape that together, and let's call this a day? And if somebody called you, Dave, in that situation and broke you even, and you probably weren't going to get your money anyway, hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Because you don't have it. Then, I'm going to extend mercy to a guy like that comes to me like that in our business. Now, if a guy comes in here yelling at us and cussing at us and saying we ripped him off we're supposed to give him a deal, I'll fight that guy down to the ground and break his, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
But you come in here with your hat in your hand and
different
be
spirit. Different spirit, Dave. And I think you doing the research, you going in, having that conversation, you taking notes and being clear, it's all about the spirit that Dave's laid out for you here for you to be able to take in the approach.
That's kind of the way you're wired anyway, isn't it?
Yes, sir. And that's why I wanted to ask the question, because I could obviously, we could get a loan. We have no other debt. We have a small family debt, but we own our house. We could make arrangements to do so, but with it being, it just would be an extreme burden to have to do that.
I wouldn't even go into that. I wouldn't even go into that.
No.
That's, this is just this is one of those situations where a Tylenol at the Walgreens is a 1/10 of a penny when you buy a whole bucket of them, right? And if you buy it at the hospital, it's $6.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Okay.
That's what this is. And, again, the guy's not doing anything wrong. He's in a specific industry. That's the business model he's chosen to embrace. And insurance companies will pay it most of the time. But you don't have that policy.
Thank goodness.
And so you're there.
That's expensive. That's an expensive trip. I'll tell you. I'm sorry, Dave, but I think you've got a process to be able to walk through, my friend, to try to get
so many ways.
Yeah, it really is. It's ridiculous is what it is.
So when you're negotiating and you want to do the right thing, which is the only way you ought to negotiate, he with the most information usually wins. So gather up information. Go get you some, in this case, charter bids.
Yeah, some research.
And your financial situation.
That's right.
And you share that with this guy and bring him up to date and see if you can't make a deal. And usually with an individual, you can make a deal.
That's good.
Our scripture of the day, Romans 14:18-19. Whoever thus serves Christ is acceptable to God and approved by men. So then let us pursue what makes for peace and for mutual upbuilding. Winston Churchill said, mountaintops inspire leaders, but valleys mature them. Open phones at 888-825-5225. You jump in. We'll talk about your life and your money. This is your show. Chris Hogan, Ramsey personality, is my co-host today. Mary is with us in Tacoma, Washington. Hi, Mary. How are you?
I am well. Thank you. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
My question is actually from one of Mr. Hogan's books.
I read that you could move money from your IRA to your HSA one time, and I was wondering why you would do that and if I should do that.
Are you sure you read that right?
No.
Okay.
I don't think.
Yeah.
I may be wrong, but I don't think you can do that.
I don't think you can either, Mary. What's the example? What are you trying to do?
What are you trying to accomplish?
I know you. I'm trying to max out my HSA for 2021, and also my IRA. I lost some benefit to it a few years ago when I did something wrong, and I was hoping to just kind of make that up with this transition from, because I know you can move a little bit, you can't move all of it, and you can only do it once in a lifetime.
Really? So you read that? Where did you read that in Chris's book?
I did, yes, and then I went and looked it up on the IRS tax site, and you can do that.
You may know more about it than either one of us do, including the guy who wrote it in his own book. What the crap?
I don't know what that's talking about. But what are you trying to accomplish? Are you trying to fund the HSA, or are you trying to max out your IRA?
I'm trying to max out my HSA.
Why?
With about $6,200 from my IRA. That's why I was calling, because Mr. Hogan wrote it, and I wanted to know why you would do that.
Don't listen. You'll have to send that to me, because that doesn't make sense. You know, the goal of having the money in your HSA obviously is being able to put that money there, almost like a medical emergency fund. The goal in putting the money in your IRA is to be able to grow that, right? To be able to, for your high definition dream. So, you know, one is there as a safety net in the HSA that you can invest, right? But then the IRA is there for your dreams. So the cross moving of those funds
there's no purpose for it, even if you can do it. And you've evidently looked it up, and it's allowed one time. Okay, that doesn't mean I would do it.
Right.
And even if Chris Hogan said in his book and he forgot it, which I don't think happened, I think you're reading something else.
Yeah.
But because I have never heard of that, and I read Chris's book before it was published, so I would have caught it, and I would have said, "What are you talking about?"
The logic,
because I didn't know you could do that. But apparently, she's looked it up in the IRS.
Right.
Let's assume you can do it, okay? And that you and I just don't know what we're doing, which is probably true.
Possibly.
So that's okay. I mean, we can't know everything, and so. I think she probably is right. You probably have a one-time thing for whatever reason. I still don't see any reason to do it.
That you would do it. Yeah.
There's no, and so the answer would be, unless you've got a really good reason, and the reason and the movement causes the reason to occur.
Right.
Then I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do that. Now I guess a reason could be if you had a huge medical expense coming, and you wanted to pay for it with pre-tax dollars. You could dump a bunch of money over into your HSA by doing that rollover and pay the medical bill. And I've done it with pre-tax dollars and saved the taxes on the medical bill, which if you take it out of your IRA to pay the medical bill, you're going to pay taxes on it.
Absolutely.
So that would be a reason, I guess, if you had a huge, let's say you had $50,000 in your HSA and you had a medical bill that out of your pocket was going to be $150,000 and you want to move $100 over there, that'd save you $30,000 in taxes to do it. So that might be a reason. I mean, I can start to work my way through this logically that there could be a rare circumstance in which you would do it. But as a general planning tool, Chris is right. No, I would keep these separate. One is for medical care, one is for dreams, and don't confuse the two.
Yeah, I have to research that.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, very, very different. I mean, okay. I have no idea, but let's just go with all that. All right. Andrew's with us. Andrew's in Fort Worth. Hi, Andrew. How are you?
Hey, Dave. This is an honor. I really do appreciate all y'all are doing.
Thanks, man. How can we help?
So I work for the city of Dallas, and I contribute to a pension. Mm-hmm. So I've listened to you for quite a long time, and I haven't heard much about pension. So I know you say 15% of your income into retirement, and me and my wife are right about that point. So I'm already being forced to take out about 13% into this pension, which I know if I actually retire here will be great, but it's not really growing much than that. So I just don't know, should I just, aside from the 13, put 2% in like a Roth or something, or do I just even count that? I mean, I do plan on retiring from here, but
and if you, depending on your years of service, you might get a lump sum rollout if you left there and that kind of stuff, but still it's not growing well and you don't have much control over it, so that makes it scary. And it's a pension and it's not in your name. If the city of Dallas became insolvent, you could lose it. And that's happened in other cities. I don't think that's going to happen in Dallas. I don't have any reason to believe that. But I'm just thinking through the situation. Versus a 401k is 100% in your name. Or Roth IRA is 100% in your name. And there's no way to lose. If your city went broke, you don't lose that money. Your company goes broke, you don't lose your 401k. So anyway, what I tell folks in these situations, because you don't have control over it and because it's not growing as well and because it's not an asset in your name, I count it, but let's count it maybe 50%. Translation, instead of you putting in 15% of your income, since you're already putting 13.5 in there, let's put in, count that 13.5 at about half, let's call it 7%. So you need to put in, you need to put in about 10% of your own money in something else.
Okay.
Give or take 8% of your own money in something else. Maybe not the full 15. We're not going to ignore it and act like the pension's not there, but I don't want to count it at 100 cents on the dollar because of the concerns. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. And I hate it this way because I've been noticing recently how much I'm actually putting in there. I'm putting in like $300 something a paycheck.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And I'm thinking, man, I really wish all these years, I've been there for 10 years, how much money I would have. So
it doesn't grow as fast and everything. Now, if your wife works outside the home, a full 15% of her income.
Yeah, no, she's a stay-at-home mom. So.
Okay, then this is simple. Yeah. So let's see. Then let's call it. You're putting in 13.5 there, and we're going to count it at half, and so you need to put in about 8% of your income into something else. What do you make?
About $65 a year.
Okay. All right. And so, you can probably just do a Roth IRA and you'll be pretty close.
Okay.
In some good mutual funds. And that's just kind of your backstop if something got weird or sideways with the pension.
All right.
Yeah, and that'll make you feel better because you'll say, hey, I'm not all in on this pension. I've also got some other money growing. And as your income grows, you're gonna be in a better situation.
Yeah, and you may want to do more. You may want to do another Roth IRA in her name.
Yeah.
Which you could do. But, you can do $6,000. That's going to be pretty dadgum close. And won't kill you. And you'll get to see that money build, and that's all in your name, of course. So
you have control of it.
Yeah, click SmartVestor at DaveRamsey.com. They'll help you get an IRA set up for a Roth and some good mutual funds. Good show, Chris Hogan.
Yeah, that was fun, Dave. Thank you for having me.
Well done, James Childs and Kelly Daniel in the booth. I am Dave Ramsey, your host. We will be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.